From KPRC Channel 2, this is Houston Newsmakers with Cambrell Marshall.
Welcome to Houston Newsmakers and what is a very special program at the start of a very special week here on KPRC 2. We're calling it Breaking Free, a week of specific information about the problems and challenges associated with intimate partner violence. All week long on all of our platforms, we're providing information about how big the problem is, from teens to seniors, in our personal lives and on our jobs, and what we all can do to try to end it. It'll be a very important week, and I have the pleasure of kicking it off with Heather Bellino, the Chief Executive Officer of the Texas Advocacy Project, an organization in existence for more than 40 years with the goal of putting an end to domestic violence. Good morning to you.
Good morning, and thank you for having me here today.
Great to see you here. So how big is this problem, and is it getting bigger or is it getting better?
That's a complicated question.
That's what I do here.
It is a very big problem. 1 in 3 Texans will experience domestic or dating violence, or somebody in their immediate family will. And 1 in 4 will experience sexual assault. So it is a really big problem. There are some studies that have shown that during the pandemic and post-pandemic, that there has been an increase in violence and in the lethality of violence. Anecdotally, we are definitely seeing more dangerous cases than we had in the past.
Well, I've taken a note of what your organization does. There's so much your organization is doing to try to make a difference. And I want to play this PSA from your website that really gives a really good feel for what your organization is trying to do.
Thank you.
"911, what is your emergency?"
No! Stop! Stop it! He dragged me by my hair across the living room floor. He tried to break both of my arms.
I feel like my children were ripped from me.
He had told me he would hurt my little brother, he would hurt my mom.
My attorney with the Texas Advocacy Project was able to help me find out strategies and things that we could do in order for me to see my children again.
My attorney helped my daughter to receive a lifelong sexual assault protective order against her abuser, my ex-husband.
As a human trafficking survivor, my past victimization was used against me by my job. No one would help me until I found Texas Advocacy Project. They helped me find my voice again.
I was awarded sole conservatorship. That is the single most important thing that's happened in my life. My son and I are safe today because of Texas Advocacy Project.
And that paints a real picture of what the organization does and how you help so many. How do you work to make yourself known to the many people who need your support, and also to the politicians who are making the laws that can affect what's going on in our society?
Yeah. Traditionally, over the past 40 years, the main source of referrals had been through shelters. We have a relationship with every shelter in the state of Texas. And every person that is experiencing this type of intimate partner abuse typically needs a civil legal remedy to help them to get safety in the long run. And that's what we do. We provide those civil legal remedies. We have, in the past 15 years, branched out to find other access points where survivors might find somebody who would be able to refer them to us as a resource. So medical and healthcare providers, universities, ISDs, law enforcement, the judiciary, et cetera. So we just try to make it known as much as possible that we are here and that we do provide services for free, and we can be a resource to everybody. Being on this show is a very valuable opportunity for us to be able to spread that information so that people that are part of your audience that identify as needing help can learn about Texas Advocacy Project.
So you're not just attorneys, but you're a little bit of everything, including legal support as well.
Absolutely. So we have a legal department that has social workers involved. So we are able to help people with their Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? You have to have a roof over your head, food in your belly, some place to sleep in order to be even able to process what's going to happen in the justice system. So our attorneys are trained on trauma-informed care, and they have the assistance of the social workers so they can really wrap you in a holistic approach to get you to help you, to walk alongside you to the safety that you deserve.
You co-authored a book called Intimate Partner Violence, an Epidemic Family Physicians Can Address. Why was it necessary for this sort of book to interact with physicians? It sounds like they may be on the front lines and maybe they didn't know what they needed to be looking for?
Right. It was actually an article in their journal. It's very important because when you're in an abusive relationship, oftentimes the only moment that you're going to get away from your abuser is in the safety of your physician's office. And if a physician is trained to ask the right questions, do you feel safe at home, to notice some of the warning signs, then they can direct a patient to resources in the community that can help them to get safe. So it's just really important to continue to open that dialogue around with healthcare providers and community resources.
Your mission statement says you want to end dating and domestic violence, sexual assault, and stalking in Texas. How realistic is that, and how optimistic do you have to be in your organization knowing you walk in with that kind of mission statement?
It's a North Star, that's for sure, right? I mean, I think it's going to be difficult to do until we can change societal norms around victim blaming and around what's acceptable behavior, what is healthy conflict resolution, what is coercive behavior. It's a North Star, let's be honest, but we can get people safe in the short term and the long term with civil legal remedies.
We're going to talk more on our Houston Newsmakers Extra because there's more to talk about, but we talk about changing the dynamic, changing the way people think about that. It really takes a groundswell, does it not, of people who really kind of push that agenda in that direction?
Oh, absolutely. You know, when I started working at Texas Advocacy Project in 2005, I would tell people the work that I'm doing. They'd say, well, I don't know anybody that's experienced that. And I'm like, let's look back and let's think about what we actually saw and what we know. The problem was that there weren't enough resources for people to get help, so you didn't notice it. But it's happening everywhere.
I want people to know how to get in contact with you. 800-374-HOPE or 800-374-4673, the number to call if you want or need the support of the Texas Advocacy Project and all that it provides. You've heard about their mission and the many ways they can help and how you can help. Maybe you can. Call that number, 800-374-4673, that number to call. Heather Bellino, thank you for your mission and for starting out this conversation on this program here. We're going to do more on Newsmakers Extra. Stay with us for that. I want to ask all of you to go to the Newsmakers page on clicktohouston.com and pick up our conversation there.